And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swat with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about dealing with potential problems involving those online charter transportation services. My guest this segment is Adrin Nazarian, who represents Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks in the State Assembly. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So these businesses are fairly new and they are exploding, aren't they?
They are. They've done very well for themselves. They've used a innovative new way of using a medium instead of a dispatcher and coming up with an opportunity of just paying for the fee in advance and providing the transportation service.
Yeah, and they hook up those who need rides with those who have cars.
Exactly.
And want to and get paid for it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's a great idea. It's just that unlike taxi cabs, who are very heavily regulated at the local level, these companies did not want to be placed under such regulation, and they wanted to operate at the state level under state regulators. And so at this point, there are no public safety measures really overseeing their work, and they've wanted to stay relatively independent.
And there have been some horror stories.
There have been. Everything from a female club attendee waking up in a motel room in the morning next to the driver of the vehicle that had offered the service, to the most unfortunate incident of a young girl, age 6, passing away because of a driver trying to catch their fare at another part of town.
So you have some legislation that would start to regulate them a bit, and what does your regulation say?
Well, it sets a baseline for public safety purposes. It sets a baseline for and creates a parity with other transportation providers, including limousines, with just about 4 provisions in public safety, making sure that every driver is tested for drugs and then randomly done throughout the year as well, making sure that they are part of the DMV pool program, so that if there's a very misconduct in their driving or a ticket or DUI, that their employer is notified right away. And so there are certain measures, and of course a background check done by the DOJ, Department of Justice, which is the most comprehensive. And all of these are put into place to make sure that everyone that is in this position of public trust is providing the service.
Some of these service providers say they do background checks, but not Department of Justice checks.
Exactly, and that's where the catch is, because a lot of the private providers will do everything but won't have a fingerprint check. And that's the most, as you know, unique and best way of being able to identify the appropriate person.
What about the argument that they're just a company that contracts with drivers and therefore they shouldn't be responsible for anything that happens?
Well then, if that's the case, why even have government? Why should we be here to try to regulate some industries and just let this one be in a situation of a wild, wild west?
They also say that too much regulation would stifle innovation. You hear that a lot.
You hear that a lot, but again, these are just measures of public safety. And I think every individual who really understood what it is that we're trying to accomplish with this would be comfortable.
All right. Well, it's a fascinating subject of hearings going on at the state capitol as this legislation moves through. A lot of news coverage. Assemblyman Nazarian, thank you very much for coming by and talking about it. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, also on My Government on Demand. Have a great day.